Tunaangazia taarifa ambazo tumezipa kipaumbele.
Right from when this Senate began, we want to look at attendance, we want to look at motions that have been put forward, we want to look at bills that have been put forward, because sometimes we tell the country something that's not correct at all. And this is one of those that has made us want to have this press to put forward the fact that in most cases, because I sit in the House as a speaker, I can tell you for a fact that your results will prove otherwise. So I would really like to invite that an analysis be done, because the performance of women in this country is extremely good. And I want to add that performance of Uganda improved because of the improvement of women in leadership. The performance of Rwanda improved because of the improvement of the numbers of women in leadership. Today, I dare say, if we improve the numbers of women in leadership positions, not just in the political, but even in other areas, directorates in our ministries, permanent secretaries, CSS, you will see an improvement in this country. And that, I want to say, there, look at the performance of Senate, and you'll be able to get that. Thank you.
Thank you. Purity Ngirichi, who is the chair of KEWOPA. For the purposes of those of us from the press who are going live with this, we just want to clarify, this is a position on a common women's agenda and not on BBI. That's for the benefit of your editors and some of the channels that have got it wrong so far. Purity.
Good morning. Speaking on behalf of KEWOPA, that brings together all the women MPs drawn from both National Assembly and the Senate, I wish to state that we will continue to seek to, one, safeguard the gains of women, including the two-thirds gender principle, as is envisioned in our Constitution of Kenya. Secondly, we will support the women's common agenda and issues and aspirations of women from across Kenya and continue agitating for the two-thirds and up to 50-50 in the appointive seats. Number three, we will continue to raise concern on the raising gender-based violence and other issues affecting women of Kenya. Parliament will not continue taking it lying down. Women members of Parliament are united in the women agenda.
Thank you very much. As we've mentioned, this is a cross-section of women leaders. Anne Guria is a university student leader. Please take a seat.
We, as the young women of this society, are here to call upon every person in Kenya to think about the people that are being killed, the people that are facing gender-based violence. Just last week, we heard of a lady who was killed in Kasarani. A girl from Kibabi University was raped and later maimed. I am asking and I am calling, as the youth and as the young women leaders in this country, we are calling upon each and every person to think about this person that you're about to hurt. Could be someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's sister. Think about your sisters, think about your parents, think about your daughters. Would you want them to face the same things that you're about to do to this young person? We are calling upon all stakeholders to take action, that whenever any case is reported about gender-based violence, something is actually done. I am calling Kenya, and I'm calling upon Kenya to have a policy that there is zero tolerance for gender-based violence. Thank you.
Thank you. And Professor Kabira? And this will be our final formal address before we open it up to questions from you.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to say very much because Professor Kamar has said what I had, some of the things that I had in mind. But I wanted to say that having read the decision of the Committee of the Senate, the women of this country have been shocked by it. First of all, the arguments are tired arguments. Nobody argues anymore that the women can just be elected like everybody else. I think that provision is in line with the Equalization Fund, with the decisions about dropping 1 point so that you can have more girls in schools. And this is something that has been discussed for close to 25 years. So we think that they need to relook at their arguments because they don't add up. We have discussed this for many, many years as women of this country. The other thing is that the gender rule is not really anything new in Kenya. It has been going on forever. I suggest that they have a conversation with Kibaki, who actually gave the first 1/3 rule in relation to, appointments many years ago when he was still the president, and it was to increase women in leadership. So I think they need to probably look at our history and see that this is not a new phenomenon. And it is what is happening all over Africa. That is what Rwanda has used. It is what Uganda has used. It's what South Africa has used. It was what Tanzania used. And actually Tanzania's affirmative action began with Nyerere. So it is actually the whole continent recognizing, including Somalia, by the way, including Somalia, which has also used the same, and Sudan. They have all used the provision of affirmative action in order to increase women's representation because they know where we are going. And if you look at what is happening in Rwanda, for instance, we are still having, Rwanda is doing much better, even on gender equality, than us. I think the Senate has many more things to do. For instance, they started with food security, which was launched by Beatrice Elachi in the previous parliament. The same food security came, and I thank Murkomen for tabling it, which is now in National Assembly. But we think with 7 million Kenyans going hungry, we need to make sure that food security in this country is addressed. All the issues that we have talked about have been addressed, gender-based violence and so on. So I think they need to rethink that position, and so should, the National Assembly.
My
Thank
apologies.
you.
One more comment from Senator Msurube, who of course also represents persons with disability.
Mtazamaji, baadhi tu ya kauli ya kina mama viongozi ambao